welcome back to United by Juno. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a minute. I haven't posted a video in, I don't think, since the beginning of the week. Um, so, everyone's doing well and you guys had a good week. But we're here to talk about Manchester United beating Burnley 3-1 at home. Uh, it's a good result. It's a good result, and I'm not gonna lie. When I when it was 80 minutes and it was still nil nil, it was still one all. I honestly thought that it was an end at at 1 all. Burnley, the very organized team, and they kind of they they a bit of a bogey team for us, but we pulled through and. Greenwood got the first goal, and then off the corner, Tarkowski scored, and it was 1 all, and the game went on. And to Burnley's credit, I have to give credit to Burnley for today's game. I think they played really, really well, and they had many moments in the game where they actually controlled it a bit, and they gave it a good go. And I just think, but that's what you need to expect from Burnley. A tough game. I think every manager will tell you that the Burnley game is a tough game, and you have to be ready for them. And they're always organised. They know how to keep the ball. They're not they're not the best footballing side, but they know how to keep position, and they play direct football. And Maguire and Lindelof today were getting caught out a few times. Chris Wood just he overpowered them, and even for the corner where Burnley scored, Tarkowski overpowered them. But on that occasion for the goal, I think the coaches need to go look at we so it's zonal marking. Obviously, it's zonal marking, and you have Maguire. I think it's McTominay in front, Lindelof and Maguire, and they stand very close to the penalty area. But I think they should push a little bit forward. Quite honestly, I don't like zonal marking, but they should push a little bit forward, because if you watch the first goal that Burnley scored back, you'll see that Tarkowski got the jump on Maguire, and Maguire was struggling to get up, but that's only because momentum was taking him. But at the same time, like, I know we paid 80 million for Harry Maguire, and I know that he's had a decent season. I mean, it was a bit rough in the beginning, but he's pulled himself together, and he is Manchester United's captain. He's on his go-to man. But is he better than Tarkowski? I'd like to know in the comments. Me personally, I know Maguire is he's good in the air. He can definitely be better in the air. I mean, there's so many times where he's had the opportunity to score goals, especially, but for some reason he just never scores. I mean, he had an opportunity in this game. I think it was in the second half, and he just hits it wide. I understand it was a bit of a difficult one because the ball was slightly over him, but you expect better from him, and it's just a question. Like, Tarkowski plays for a lesser team. No offense to Burnley, but I can't. Besides Maguire, I think one thing about Maguire is he's good at taking the ball upfield. He does it constantly. If there's nothing on, you'll see Maguire run the ball upfield. But from a defensive point of view, like, I can't see how Maguire's better than Tarkowski, honestly. But anyway, obviously there's people that's big Maguire fans, and you guys are gonna have a go at me. But that's just my opinion. I mean, football's about opinion and analysis, and that's just my opinion on it. But you guys can let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, I think the centre backs, they had a decent game, but they should have had a better game. I mean, Burnley was bullying us on that crosses when they did put the cross in, and you just expect a bit better from Manchester United centre backs. I was very sad to not see Twanzebe play today next to Maguire. In my last video, I obviously pointed out that I think Twanzebe should play, and I understand that he has a bit of injury problems. And I understand from Ali's point of view, you don't want to swap your centre back pairing all the time. You need to get that partnership going. But I honestly think Twanzebe, he should get a run of games, and I think if he can keep himself fit, I think him and Maguire will be a better pairing than him and Lindelof. And that's obviously also why we're looking for a centre back, why Manchester United's prioritising the centre back, and Varane is the man. And I don't have the source, but I read a report today that Manchester United are in advanced talks, and basically when they realised that the Varane deal could be done, he became a priority. And I hope they can. You know, the board, they're not good at getting deals done. Sancho last season, he should be a Manchester United player this season, but hopefully they can prove us wrong, because he'll be a very good signing. He's won a World Cup, he's won Champions Leagues. He's been in that team all this time, and like I said in my last video, I don't watch enough of Varane, but if they think he's a priority, and if you look at what he's done in his career, I think they should go for him. Then I'm going to move to the right back and left back, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. Shaw had a brilliant game today, but Shaw always has a brilliant game. Especially, well, if you look throughout the game, Shaw, he was going down that left. Him and Rashford in the second half, they were killing Burnley on the left side. That overlap runs that Shaw was making. You'd like to see it more from Wan-Bissaka. You saw it in the first half. Wan-Bissaka was really high, but in the second half, he was a bit more reserved. And you just like to see Wan-Bissaka run the line like Shaw runs it. But I think he has the potential not to maybe be as good as Shaw, but he has the potential to do what needs to be done from an attacking point of view. In the last two games, and the last game, he gave the ball away quite a bit. Well, actually not quite a bit. There was moments where he gave the ball away, but he has that in his locker, and I think he has the defending side. He just needs to work on his attack, and he's done very well. In the first half, he was playing very well in attack. I don't know if it's maybe instructions from Oli, but or maybe he just doesn't trust himself. But he needs to. In that second half, I thought maybe he just needed to push on a little bit more. Even though United controlled the game in moments, Burnley also had their moments, but regardless, in the second half, you can even say, sure, he never just went up. It was obviously more calculated. In the first half, they were just high. In the second half, it was a bit more calculated, but sure, still, he still made more of an effort, and I think Wan-Bissaka also just needs to make a bit more of an effort. Like, don't just run up. I'm not saying that, but calculated runs. There's periods where you can do that overlap. Manchester United, we're known for the wing backs overlapping. If you remember Raphael, Gary Neville, not really, but Raphael, Patrice Evra. I'm not gonna go down the line of left backs and right backs for Manchester United, but just in recent history, like Manchester United has been known for that overlap runs made from the left back and the right back, and I just think Wan-Bissaka needs to work on that. He's brilliant on defense. Do you know, if it's 1-on-1 and it's Wan-Bissaka, I don't stress. Today they did get a bit of better. I can't remember who it was. I think it was McNair. He was in the box, so Wan-Bissaka couldn't go down and tackle him, but he just stood Wan-Bissaka up, and that was the only time he kind of stood him up, and he passed the ball back, I think to Chris Wood, and Chris Wood took the shot, or I'm not sure who, one of the Burnley players took the shot and it hit another Burnley player who was in the offside position. I can't remember who exactly the Burnley players were, but I think it was McNair who stood him up. And he was in the box. I can understand when he's outside the box, he can take more of a risk from a defensive point of view. But he was in the box, and that was the only time they really got 1 over 1 Basaka. But I'm going to move on to. Sorry, so in the first half, it was Fred and McTominay. They weren't doing much. There wasn't much movement. I mean, it was fine though because they were covering Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka and Shaw was really high. And it was good to see Oli change his tactics against a low block. I think that was impressive from Oli Gunnar Solskjaer. You would like to see maybe Fred or McTominay just move slightly further forward, but they basically stood firm in their positions in front of Lindelof and Maguire. And obviously, goes back to having a specialist CDM. We if Oli wants to play the left back and the right back high, there'll just be one player that's more disciplined in there. Both players don't have to be disciplined. I mean, if it's Pogba and Basuma, because I think Basuma will be a good signing. Basuma can be that guy, and Pogba can just release himself slightly. He obviously has to show discipline as well, but I just think it will make a world of difference just to have that one centre mid just 5 yards or 10 yards forward, closer to Bruno. Obviously, Bruno, he's changed his game a bit. In the beginning of the season, especially when we were counter-attacking football side, the football has changed. Manchester United's football has completely changed, but he's not giving the ball away as much as he used to. I mean, when we were counter-attacking side, he just used to take risky passes, but now the team is playing and Bruno's keeping the ball more, and you're seeing that he could have scored today that header, but you're seeing he's not getting as many goals because United's not playing that counter-attacking football, and United's not playing the counter-attacking that we used to play in the beginning of the season, where Bruno was just taking constant risks. Every ball he gets, he takes the risks, and there was supporters out there that were getting on his back because he was losing the ball constantly, but he's taking the risk. He's making the counter-attack deadlier than just players running up the field. But he's not doing that anymore. He's more of a, I don't know, he's taking that risk, but at the same time, he's just more controlled and more calm about the game. And with that now, you're seeing he's not scoring as many goals, but at the same time, he might not be scoring as many goals, but the team is gelling so much more. The team is evolving over the seasons. Just go watch the beginning of the season and watch today's game or the game against Grenada, even not the first leg. I don't know, that first leg was an annoying game, but the second game you'll see that Manchester United's play is evolving. The wing backs are pushing up. Pogba, he has been playing high, but in the second half he played more in the middle, and you see the difference that someone like Pogba, who's sitting there in the middle, and obviously in the beginning of the half he didn't really release himself, but close to the end he started like moving up, and he started becoming more of a box-to-box. And but what I wanted to say is that Pogba, just Fred and McTominay, they can't ping that ball around from deep, and that's what we're missing there. That's why we need to get a CDM. And I'm going to touch on the CDM all the time because I think that's what United needs. United needs to keep the players that want to leave. Pogba needs to stay. Cavani needs to stay. And we need to bring in at least a CDM. If we can bring in a centre-back, obviously his priority is a centre-back, but if you can just bring in a centre-back and a CDM and keep all the players that want to leave, that is important to the team that's playing. And Van der Beek's one of them. I think Van der Beek needs to stay. I think Ollie's starting to see his what he can bring to the team. Obviously Ollie has his favourites, but he brought Bruno on. I mean, he brought Van der Beek on around I think it was 80 minutes. Honestly, he should have given him more time. Should have given him maybe a half an hour. He should be giving Van der Beek more time. And he brought Rashford off, and it could have been a fitness issue, but Rashford was brilliant today. He was brilliant, and For me, the only thing that was missing from Rashford's game was, I don't think he got an assist or a goal, but maybe even assist. I think that's all that was missing from Rashford's game today. And I so badly want to give man of the match to Rashford because I've been complaining about him for weeks now, and obviously he's been playing with the injury, but you can see the difference when he's not playing with the injury. Today he was looking to assist. He wasn't just running into the box aimlessly. He was looking to assist. Um, and the same with Mason Greenwood on the other side. He's also looking to assist, and it makes me happy to see that. And obviously that means that the coaching staff and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has seen the exact same things that I'm seeing. And I'm not saying they can't score goals. I'm not saying they can't be selfish. I'm not saying they can't shoot. But there's times where their decision making, and this is actually Rashford's decision making, has been coming on for a long time, and many fans have been complaining about it. But today, I don't think anybody needs to be on Rashford's back. I think he had a brilliant game. Him and Shaw ran that left side, especially in the second half. They caused all sorts of problems, and in the first half, actually throughout the game, Rashford caused problems. Rashford and Shaw, and I'd love to give my man of the match to Rashford. I, you know, I think my man of the match needs to go to Greenwood. I think he had a brilliant game on the other side as well, and he obviously has the two goals to actually Rashford assisted Greenwood's first goal. So obviously, if you don't know, the first goal somehow I can't remember the build up, but Rashford puts a cross in from the left hand side, and Bruno Fernandes, he steps over the ball and it just throws the older Burnley defence out, and Greenwood just comes in and he just slots it in. Um, so Rashford did get an assist today, so I'm really tempted. It's either him or Greenwood for me today. And then the second goal, obviously Burnley, they scored off a corner. Tarkowski, he just got the run on Maguire, and unfortunately Maguire couldn't get up because, like I said earlier in the video, I think they should move a bit forward so they don't get as much momentum. Um, I honestly think that goal is the coaching staff's fault, but obviously you as a player, like, you on the field, the coaches are on the field, but I think the coaches need to look at that. And then the third goal, or the second goal, the third goal of the match, the second goal, basically, the ball goes out to Mason Greenwood. So the ball's on the left. I'm not sure. I think it's Rashford. Rashford or Shaw passes the ball to Pogba. Pogba puts it all the way over to Mason Greenwood under a bit of pressure from a Burnley player. Mason Greenwood just goes in. He hits it for the far post. However, there's a deflection from Cork. I can't remember his full name now. And the keeper, he's going to the right to try and save it because it's going to the keeper's right hand corner, and the deflection just puts it into his left hand corner. And then the last goal. So in the last goal, Burnley's going for the game. They lose in the game, and I think Burnley, they really played well today. They had, obviously they were under pressure. Actually, Sean Dyche planned for the game to go this way. He didn't plan for them to concede 3, but if you look at how they played first half, they were just there to let Manchester United play and not concede. That was obviously part of the game plan. And then second half, they played that good moments of football. They put Manchester United under pressure. They put balls into the box. I mean, that's what Burnley's all about, and they played really well. And they're just unfortunate. I don't know, like Manchester United do they? I think we deserve the win just about. But a draw would have also been a fair result from Burnley's point of view. I mean, I think they would have been happy with the draw. A draw would have been a good result at Old Trafford. But United showed the quality. Mason Greenwood today with the 2 goals, and the last goal. What a team goal! I love that last goal. It's my favorite goal of the day. So there's a whole scrap in Manchester United's just outside Manchester United's penalty area, and they pass the ball out, and I think they pass the ball out to Bruno, And Cavani, what a player. We need to keep Cavani. But anyway, Cavani's making a run down the left, and Bruno gives a lovely ball to Cavani. And obviously, there's a bit of spin on the ball. So instead of taking the ball down the wing, Cavani just cuts inside of the Burnley players, and he gives it to Greenwood. And Greenwood runs at the Burnley defense, and well, yeah, Greenwood like kind of puts the Burnley defense under a bit of pressure, and instead of taking them on, he passes it back to Bruno. And Bruno, like, it's just a lovely work goal. Bruno, he takes a touch and he gives it to Van der Beek, making the run on his left hand side, and Van der Beek just puts it across for Cavani, and it's such a lovely goal. And it's goals that I would rather see goals like that from Manchester United. I understand it was a counter attack, but all those players being involved, you see, it's not just Bruno like giving hectic passes. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's not just Bruno giving that crazy like out of the needle pass. It's the team is like evolving, and credit to the coaching staff, credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I really hope we can keep the players that we need to keep, which is Cavani and Pogba. And I think we need to keep the squad. Obviously, there's players that need to go. Phil Jones, Rojo, Joel, and then obviously there's the keeper situation. Me personally, I'm a De Gea guy, but you watch Henderson play and you can't like, I can't say like he's not good enough to be the Manchester United keeper. And all he says he's evolving, and he made a mistake a couple of weeks ago, but he hasn't really made a mistake since then. I mean, he's vocal, you hear him shouting, he tries to get the ball out quickly. I think he's learning from De Gea in the last game, you know, he saved one with his boot. So I think he has what it takes to be the number one. It's just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now needs to decide who's his number one keeper going to be for next season. Obviously, it's difficult to get De Gea out the club. We're going to pay him like 30, I think it's 35 point, I think it's 36.5 million just to pay him out of his contract. And we're valuing him at 50 million. It's going to be very difficult, and it's just bad management to have given him the contract. And now this season, Henderson is the guy that Ole is looking to push, the media is looking to push, the owners is looking to push. You know, it's just been bad management from Manchester United side. But I think at the end of the day, I was really happy with the result. Like I was saying, 80 minutes, I thought it was going to be 1-1, and I wasn't too upset. It's a bit frustrating. But if you watch Burnley play, they played well, and I don't think from either club side the draw would have been that bad. I mean, if you look at the table, Manchester United, I think that second place is nailed on, especially now. Now after that 3 points, I think it's nailed on. I think we're going to finish second. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out, I think it was in his press conference, he basically said there's lots of games and no player is really going to get the rest. And I honestly think that Van der Beek should be getting more games. And Twanzebe, like, play him in the Europa League. Like, just play Twanzebe in the Europa League. It's such a touchy subject. Like, I would love to see that happen, but obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't be taking those risks because he's taken too many risks in cup competitions in the past, and it's backfired. And who haven't I spoken about? I've spoken about McFred. It was really nice to see Pogba playing that centre mid and just breaking McFred apart. I've spoken about Rashford. For me, Rashford should be man of the match. I think he done so much today. He done so much. He put that Burnley players under so much pressure. I'm gonna give it to Rashford, even though Greenwood deserves it. I mean, he scored 2 goals, but I think Rashford was immense today, and I just want to see Rashford grow. I mean, we all do, and I think he's brilliant on the left wing. You know, he's I wonder if he can emulate what Ronaldo done. I think he can even eclipse Ronaldo, not in terms of career, but in terms of what he done for Manchester United. And I think Rashford just needs to push on, and especially now that he doesn't have an injury. I spoke about the defensive pairing. Van der Beek, you seeing like Van der Beek starting to get more game now, and you're seeing he's developing. It seems like emotionally he feels more part of the team, and obviously he's playing now. He's gonna get better. I mean, Van der Beek's a brilliant footballer, and I'm so glad that Ollie, like, I don't know if it's because Rashford maybe couldn't last 90 minutes, but I'm so glad that Ollie took Rashford off and put Van der Beek there. I mean, us as supporters, we've been complaining that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has his favourites, but he needs to like mix it up, and Van der Beek is mixing it up. I mean, if Rashford's more direct and he's just a skillful player, sulky player, where Van der Beek he's gonna play the 1-2 with Bruno, Cavani, and whoever else is on the field, and I just think it's good to have. That's why I think Van der Beek needs to start. I think Ollie needs to put just a bit more trust in Van der Beek. He's definitely gonna get better. And we even saw Van der Beek chase him back. I mean, late in the second half, you saw him like chase back the Burnley players, and I just think the squad is very good. We just need to keep who we need to keep, get rid of who any deadwood, and just bring in maybe 2 players and or 3 players. And I think if that happens, I think next season we'll be closer to City. Obviously, this season's been a freak season. You don't have Liverpool's in a step up, you don't have Chelsea's in a step up, but honestly, I think 3 players, keep everybody who needs to be kept and get rid of the deadwood, and I think Manchester United can only move forward from here. But anyway, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so that you know when I post a video. Yeah, and I've just decided recently that before I go, I don't want my videos to be 45 minutes. I want it to be a bit shorter, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. This one's going on half an hour, but I'd like my videos to be shorter, you know, and just maybe when I'm more established, I'll be posting longer videos. But I think I should go for the shorter videos. And just thanks for the support, guys. I mean, like, I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.